Hey everybody, it's Chaymie here and welcome back to another video, and today I'm just so excited because we're finally going to be taking a look at the live action Little Mermaid dolls from Mattel, so let's go. And before we start, I'm Chaymie and I like to make toy videos here on my channel, so make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell if you would like to stay tuned for more toy video content. So as you can see, I got the Mermaid Ariel, the Transforming Ariel, as well as Ariel on Land dolls. Taking a look at their packaging, I love the consistent theme on all the boxes of that little gold swirl on the top as well as on the bottom, and I just love that the Transforming Ariel's dolls box also feature an actual photo of Halle herself on the bottom, so love that. The Transforming doll also has the Disney 100 Years logo on the top as well. Taking a look at the backs, each doll comes with their own promo stock image on the back. I always love seeing the promo image of the dolls on the back of dolls boxes because when we're young, we don't get to see like images online, okay? Like the stock image is only available mostly on the back of the box and we only see it when we get the doll, so it's always very cool to see. Now it's deboxing time, so let's start off with the Mermaid Ariel. The box overall is very compact because it's a budget doll, but overall she is displayed very nicely in there. And if you scan this little code, it'll take you to a page where you can play a 30-second snippet of the reprise of part of your world. Alright, now it's time to take her out. I usually like to save these boxes, but I guess these ones you just have to rip it off, so let's rip it. Got my trusty cat paw scissors, and do a little bit of snipping. Final yank, and she's out of the box. And all we need to do is plug her fins in. So there's a hole at the bottom of her tail, so you just get your fins, align the little pangs, and boom, with a click, it's in. And here she is in all her glory with her fins attached, and I have to say the fins are really well made. They're just they're like a solid piece of plastic. It's not hollow and it's quite weighty too. Now let's get into the details, starting with her face. So of course she is in her stunning new face sculpt of Halle Bailey as Ariel, and I love the sculpt so much. Like Mattel, they always, nail down celebrity sculpts, but the way Mattel nails down the sculpts are that they have that perfect balance between looking like a doll and looking like the person that they're supposed to be, so they always nail that. So I love the sculpt so much. And in terms of paint, I do think the face design is really well done. It captures Halle. In terms of pixels, there are a little bit of pixels in there if you look very closely, but they're not as bad as some of the other fashionistas dolls out there right now. And I'm not sure if it's just my eyes, but her overall face looks shimmery too, like especially on the cheeks. It looks like there's some highlighter on there, so it's a really pretty effect. And of course, they also got Halle's iconic mole above her eyebrows down. Now moving on to her hair, so surprisingly her hair is actually very fluffy, very soft, and very flippity floppity, very loose. Very natural is what I'm trying to say. I thought for some reason the locks are gonna be stiff, but they're not stiff at all. They move pretty much on the same way as the rest of the loose hair do. And the way they are rooted is all the locks are rooted on the very top along the hairline part in the middle, and so when you let them down, they kind of cover it, making that overall effect from the movie coming to life. The locks are also wavy in the same way as the loose hair underneath also has that beach wave going on. Overall, I love the hair so much. I keep on just flipping back and forth while making this review because I just love the way it moves. But if you ever want to comb the rest of the hair, I suggest what you can do is just lift up all the locks from the middle part and brush the hair underneath and then let it back down, I suppose. Moving on to her outfit, so first up we got the top. So I love the design of the top in the live action movie. I love that it's just part of her body, like part of her scales. And they did a nice job replicating that on this doll. It's all sculpted though, but even that little wave of ruffles is on there. It's an ombre of purple and green to give that overall effect of shimmeriness from the movie, I suppose. But on the back, it's all just purple though. So for the rest of the tail, we have all these printed details in terms of the color. So they do look like they're brushed on effects, but I don't think they're actually brushed on. Maybe they're trying to convey that effect, but I think this was just done, maybe a screening printed by a machine, but it does the job. And she does have 2 little side fins near the end, but the back fins are missing here. I think because this doll is going to be sculpted anyway, so they probably don't want it to be like protruding on the back. And finally, we have her fins. So her fins, for the top part, I think those little swirls are supposed to represent the loose kind of ruffly fins that she has in the movie. It's painted nicely, but I love the overall big side of the fin. It's clear, it's translucent with glitter inside. And I love that it's sculpted with a little bit of a curve, you know, so that it's not just like a flat little piece sticking out. It has some movement into it and the way it's sculpted, so I love that. One thing though, maybe you can't take the fins back out once you put them on, because I tried taking them back out for a closer look, but they won't come back out. In terms of articulation, she can sit down, she can arch her back a little bit, but that's about it. And then she can do the usual shoulder movements on her arms. And that's about it. Next, let's move on to the Ariel on Land doll featured in her blue dress. Her box is pretty much the same as the mermaid one, but on the back, you got a promo picture of herself, and there's also Scuttle there for some reason. So originally I thought maybe Scuttle was supposed to be included with her, or maybe they just put Scuttle there for decoration, I don't know. And it also promotes the mermaid doll on the bottom. And let's take her out. And her box background is a picture of Eric's castle against the rocks on the beach, and probably the one that we've seen from the trailers. Alright, here she is, and she is actually so petite that my usual Barbie size doll stand for the waist is actually all the way up there on her chest. And also because she's on flat feet, so maybe that's making her shorter and more petiter. I also noticed that the hair on the mermaid doll is a little bit of a deeper shade of red, and the hair on the Ariel on Land doll is a bit more on the ginger shade and not as deep. Taking a look at their details, so her face sculpt and face paint is exactly the same as Halle, and I also forgot to mention that she also has painted on baby hair on her forehead, and I feel like there's a missing plug of one of the locks on the very front of her hairline. The hair quality seems to be exactly the same as the mermaid doll as well, but I think this one has a better done wave on the loose hair underneath the locks. And before you look at the dress, here is a look at her sandals. So they're very cute and they're sculpted nicely. So I noticed that in some of the dolls, she's wearing that pink boots, but here she's wearing the sandals. So I wonder which and when she wears these shoes on her 3 days on land. I actually have to say I love the hand sculpts on this doll. I'm not sure if they're new for her or they've been using on other fashionistas dolls as well, but I do love it. Moving on to her outfit, so she have these ruffle details on her neckline, and her bodice, at least the top, is like this roughly pleated kind of material. I don't know what to call it. And then she has her puffy see-through sleeves. And then the middle part is supposed to be a corset in the movie, but here it's just fabric. And her dress is also made out of a similar material like her bodice piece. It has these textured little ruffle pleated effects there. I don't know what to call it. I think I saw someone saying what kind of material this is supposed to be, but I forgot. So in my review, it's gonna be a roughly pleated like material. And here are the two of them, the Mermaid Ariel and the human Ariel, and they're just so cute together, even though they're twins. So this is a very Princess and the Pauper situation here. Kind of circling back to the skirt, I wish it would have been a little bit fuller, and so that it has more kind of folds and pleats and it can like kind of spin around. But then again, this is a budget doll, so for a budget doll, it's really great. And finally, last but not least, we're gonna combine the first two dolls that we've looked at and go on with the transforming Ariel, which has both the mermaid version and her blue dress. And on the back, we have photos of how she works, and on the bottom, it promotes the blue doll. Like always, it's time for the ribbon. And snipping. And both she and her tail are safely out of the box. And before you try out the function, let's just take a look at the doll first. So again, her face and hair is exactly the same as the first two dolls. Again, the first Mermaid Ariel still looks like has a deeper shade of red in her hair, and the transforming doll pretty much has the same shade as the Ariel on land doll. Taking a look at her outfit, so first up she has a necklace, and then I just love the pendant is the same shape of shell that Melody has in the Little Mermaid too, so it's such a nice throwback and a little nod to thank you Mattel for acknowledging Melody. So for her top, it's basically a sculpted version of the top from the blue dress, but it has some little tweaks in here and there to make it work on this feature doll. Her tail have some painted on details that are a bit different from the main Mermaid Ariel, and additionally it also has sculpted shells, starfishes, and little swirls overall on the tail. And on the back there's this long slit for the play function to work, and I also just noticed how the top is very shimmery. I love that. And she has a flat base at the end of her tail, so she can pretty much stand on her own, which is nice for a mermaid who just got on land. She's already standing on her own. Right now, let's just take a look at her dress / fins. So on the insides to represent the fins, there are like little sparkly little dots there. Which is really pretty. They're very iridescent, and you have the mechanism here to open and close. And on the other side is supposed to be the texture of the blue dress. It's very nicely printed. It has no actual texture though. And it has a little blue shell on the back as well for you to play, I suppose, when we put it on her later. And I also just noticed her arms are very flexible. They're very bendy, unlike the hard arms on the previous two dolls. So I think it's done purposely so that the play function can work properly and the arms won't obstruct it maybe, but it's very soft. Like, you don't even need to use force. It's just ready to be flexible. And before we put the fins on, let's just breeze through the instructions papers. So it's so nostalgic. I always loved reading instruction papers on Barbie dolls when I was younger, so this is giving me back nostalgia. So it just pretty much tells you how to put on the fins to her body and how to pretty much use the play feature. So boom, we snap it on, we raise it up, and we close the dress. And the standing feature is actually really cool when she has her dress on because you can't see the inside, so it's like a nice little stand on its own. Okay, now let's see how it works. Whoa, that was very fast. Like, I blinked and I missed it, but super cool. And I love that the fabric material is quite soft, so you can mimic her tail flipping. Now before we go, let's see that one more time in slow-mo. It's very cool. I feel like a kid again. Alright, so that is it for my review on the first 3 dolls of The Little Mermaid from the live action movie by Mattel. So there's so much more that I need to hunt down and so much more that are coming, so I just can't wait to get everything and make videos about everyone. And for these 3 particular dolls, I think they're very well made 3 playline dolls. The details are nice for what they are. I love the hair, I love the face. I only wish we could have gotten some articulation on these dolls, but I think they're saving articulation for the higher end dolls, which is fine because I'm gonna get them anyway. So that's pretty much my only complaint. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Have you gotten your live action Ariel dolls, or are you planning to get them soon? I am so excited to see the movie and to get more of these dolls on the way. You can also check me out on Instagram at Chaymie Creates for more toy photography because I cannot wait to start doing edits of these dolls from the movie, so make sure you check me out over there. If you enjoyed the video, you can thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share. It'll really help out my channel. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon in my next video. Bye!